Okay, let's go.
I just got threatened by your wife.
That's all right. I live in fear, but it's okay.
Okay.
She's way prettier than I deserve.
Yeah.
We are closing tonight here in Big Blue Nation because Mark Pope sat down with CBS Sports' John Rothstein this week and gave fans a look at what the 26-27 schedule is shaping up to be. As of July 1st, Kentucky has 30 games scheduled, 18 SEC matchups, and 12 non-conference games already locked in. The non-conference slate includes Kansas, Indiana, Virginia, Louisville, and North Carolina, 5 programs that will be ranked or hovering just outside the top 25 when the season tips off. The remaining 7 non-conference opponents are all scheduled at Rupp Arena, the cupcake schedule, as Dick Vitale called them. But starting with the 2026 season, teams can play up to 32 regular season games. Kentucky is 2 games short of that. Pope told Rothstein, "We have a couple of games we're trying to finalize. We'll see how those play out. I love these big name, big emotion, non-conference opponents that we play." He was also quick to pump the brakes on his own ambitions. Nick's probably trying to push adding 2 more big name opponents. I might try and temper him a little bit. We don't need to be number 1 hardest schedule by a mile, right?
We're probably Pope predicted top 5 already.
Yeah, I'm fine being in the top 5. He says per KenPom, Kentucky had the 3rd toughest schedule in 24-25 and the 4th toughest in 25-26, 2nd hardest in the country over the last 2 years combined. Pope also teased a potential future home and home with Rick Pitino's St. John's program, likely in 27-28. And before I ask you any questions about that, big news out of St. John's last night. And boy, it was huge for Big Blue Nation.
Huge. You need to
Donnie Freeman, who the entire Big Blue Nation was
and country
were going after as a potential power forward for the Kentucky Wildcats. He ended up choosing St. John's over the University of Kentucky. It was reported yesterday afternoon by St. John's and Rick Pitino that Donnie Freeman will miss the entire season after he has ruptured his Achilles tendon. Kentucky dodged an injury bullet. We hope the best for Donnie Freeman. We absolutely do not
hope it's a tear and not a rupture.
Yeah. And so
a rupture could be career threatening.
It could. And so, we hope he gets better. We hope that, they just announced it yesterday. I think he'll have the best surgeons and everything looking at it, but a real bullet missed by the University of Kentucky, who has struggled the last couple of years with injuries, and they've been bit by the injury bug.
Like you texted, dodge.a.bullet.
Yep.
We certainly did. And it sucks. I mean, tearing your Achilles is a horrible injury for any athlete, but especially a basketball player.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times when they don't come back, they struggle with walking later in life.
Yeah.
Because it's so crucial part of your ankle. And man,
these are not small humans either. I mean, these are 6'10" guys, 250, 260 pounds. I mean, it affects everything you do. And he will be out for an entire year if he's even eligible to play another season, if he's given a red shirt or whatever else.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
But he's on the team, so it doesn't open up a roster spot for St. John's or anything. So
they can't put him on a medical reserve or whatever.
I mean, the way it works now, you get 15 spots.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if they're redshirted or not. So I will ask you this though, Craig: Kansas, Indiana, Virginia, Louisville, North Carolina. That is a brutal 18, along with a brutal 18-game SEC schedule, and potentially 2 more big-name non-conference games. Mark Pope has built the 2nd hardest schedule in the country over the last 2 years. And year 3, that slate is shaping up to be more of the same. For a team that has struggled on the road in big environments, is this the right approach heading into this, or should we get a couple more of those, maybe some in-state guys?
Yeah, I like the approach. Now, the 7 cupcakes, the Dickie V cupcakes, we talked about this. Get some EKUs, WKU, NKU, which NKU,
Bellarmine.
They were close to Bellarmine both. They were both national champions or close to national champions at one time, but keep that money in the school. But I've since researched those teams don't actually get that much. I thought they get like half the gate or something to
No,
fund basically their whole athletic department
no,
off
it's
one game, but it's
essentially
not
one
really
check.
that much. Yeah.
No,
And but I'd like to see him play in in-state schools, but with the strength of schedule, he's got the cupcakes interspersed between the games
yep,
where the players can get a mental break after
yeah,
being up so high from playing in North Carolina or, you know, losing sleep over playing somebody else. They won't do that against those games. They can relax, have a little bit of fun,
yep,
and get ready for the next game. And they won't have to play 2 or 3 in a row where
exactly.
you're playing Louisville, but you're looking ahead to play North Carolina, and you
Yep,
lose to Louisville. It's not that kind of schedule.
right. While the schedule's being built, Mark Pope is building expectations for the players who will fit in and have already started making a difference. On Malachi Moreno, the 7-foot sophomore center who returned to Kentucky for year 2 after going through the NBA draft process, Pope told Rothstein he foresees, his words, a massive jump in Moreno's development, adding that he believes Moreno has the ceiling of the best center in college basketball. That is not a throwaway compliment either. Pope said it deliberately, and Big Blue Nation has reason to believe it. Moreno showed flashes in year 1 of athleticism, length, and shot blocking ability that made him a highly rated prospect. And a summer of development alongside 4 other 7-footers in Lexington could unlock a genuinely dominant front court player. Meanwhile, a KSR piece this week on new transfer Milan Momcilovic described him as having what teammates call gravity, the rare ability to pull defenders simply by being on the floor, creating space for everyone else the way only
Yep.
truly great shooters can. The comparison that people are giving is with Kobe Brea, one of the program's most beloved players in the Pope era, except Momcilovic is younger, taller, and by all accounts even more dangerous off the catch. Pair him with Zoom Diallo, running the point at 15.7 points per
Yeah.
game. Alex Wilkins,
Two healthy guards.
two and good guards. Alex Wilkins, whom Pope himself has compared to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, what a compliment.
That's huge.
And a front court that no team in the SEC can match at this point. I don't care what anybody says. You cannot match it at every
No,
six. And then,
not at all 3 spots.
not at all 3 spots, and then too deep. You can't go
Right.
you can't go too deep with everybody.
So we can foul the hell out of everybody too.
That's right. Pope is building in Lexington looks genuinely different from anything he has assembled the first 2 seasons. John Rothstein said this week he would be surprised if fewer than 11 SEC teams make the NCAA tournament next season. That is the league Kentucky is navigating with this roster.
Well, one thing I don't want to see. One thing I was reading John Boy's comment.
Yeah.
One thing I don't want to see this year.
Stand by, John Boy. We're about to get to that.
Yeah, or soft under the basket fouls, because we got the depth now. If somebody's going up for a layup and we're going to foul them, don't slap them on the wrist. Knock the crap out of them.
1980s basketball.
Yeah,
Kurt
smack them
Rambis
across the arms and put them on the ground if that's what it takes, because it'll do 2 things. One, we'll take out one 7-footer and put in maybe a taller 7-footer.
Right.
You don't know, but it will say, hey, we ain't going underneath, because they're going to hammer us. We're going to have to either go up strong, or we're going to have to be a better free throw shooter than we probably are.
Yeah.
So I think, if I was telling Pope something like that to his face, I'd say, man, you got great free throw shooting, which I've been waiting on for 10 years. Now, no soft fouls under the basket, no swatting at the ball. If you're gonna foul them, put them on the ground.
Well, we cannot close out this particular section of our show without talking about the latest chapter in the most entertaining recruiting saga in Big Blue Nation in recent memory, and that is regarding Nikola Kusturica. Serbia dismantled New Zealand yesterday, 121-91 in the FIBA U17 World Cup round of 16. There was that's a 31-point statement by FIBA's own power rankings. They just destroyed this team. It
Sure,
just
killed them.
It wasn't good. The reason was largely one name, Nikola Kusturica. He led Serbia with a tournament best 31 efficiency rating in that game alone. He is averaging over 18 points per game on 48.1% shooting, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, and a team-leading 19.0 efficiency rating. He's the best player of the tournament. He scored 27 points in that game. But here's the recruiting picture. On Tuesday, 24/7 sports analyst Travis Branham logged a crystal ball prediction for UCLA Big Blue Nation went cold, as you all remember. But here's what Big Blue Nation needs to remember. That is the same Travis Branham who logged a crystal ball for Kentucky in this same recruitment with a 7 out of 10 and then pulled it within 24 hours.
Yep.
Here's the other thing you have to understand is I have on the screen is an article from Yahoo Sports. Yahoo Sports saying Mark Pope's Kentucky loses recruiting battle as Nikola Kusturica reportedly heading to a Big Ten program. However, today, as you can imagine, there are people who are saying the longer this goes for UCLA without pen to paper and without a decision, that's not good. And the more people who are talking, that's not good. Then we heard late last night that Mark Pope is in Turkey.
Yeah,
Now,
the beard is in Turkey.
Yeah, Dark Pope is in Istanbul, Turkey. And what people will say to you is they will say, well, he's there to see a bunch of the guys on the American U17 team. He can watch them anytime in the United States, and he can watch this film. These kids aren't looking to come in right now. He's there for one reason, and I've talked to some guys. He is there, and he is looking to seal the deal with Nikola Kusturica while he is there. Now, whether it happens or not, I don't know. But I have told you all for the last 2 weeks, this thing is not over.
Yep.
We are not out of it. Nobody knows what's going on. And listen, I understand UCLA has an assistant coach that coaches for the Serbian FIBA team, the U20s. Totally understand all that. But there is a major difference between the UCLA program and Mick Cronin, the man who kills careers and his slow garbage offense, and what Kentucky has and an exciting pace. And Kentucky doesn't need him and can give him the minutes restrictions that he wants this year. And that's exactly what he's going to pitch to.
Won't hurt the team.
Won't hurt the team at all.
And if you want to believe what you just said, what was it he said? Momcilovic said the other day that Pope told him to shoot more.
Mm-hmm.
He was told last year to get up at least 10 threes a game. Pope said shoot more. I don't care if your percentage goes down a little bit. Shoot more because it'll make up for it. So here he is being his stat man again and saying more of a volume will generate more points for Kentucky. And as fast as he gets his shot off, and with the 7-footers underneath, holy crap.
Well, Pope told John Rothstein this week, quote, I'm going to do some recruiting in Istanbul, and Leanne is going to hopefully make that trip with me. That is happening. He's already there. We know that. And a head coach does not get on a plane to Turkey for a kid he thinks he has already lost. You just don't. That is not a done deal for UCLA.
Or UK wouldn't pay for it.
No, the tournament. Well, and even if he said I'm going to go look at other kids, he's there to see Nikola Kusturica. That's why he's there.
I don't think UK would spend $10,000 or whatever this flight's going to cost. The ticket might have been $8,000, and his wife went with him, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think, unless Pope's paying for this out of his pocket.
Oh, he's got it.
Yeah, I don't see any way UK would pay for him to go over there and recruit players that he can drive down the road or hop on a short jet flight and go watch in person in the high school gym. I just don't see it.
Otis, Darius Karudos is another player who is in Turkey, who is from Turkey. Perhaps he's checking him out as well as a potential
backup option.
As a backup option. There, he is not out of it. I will tell you, UK is not out of this entire process. It's not necessarily a done deal by any stretch, but nobody knows what's going on, and I think there's so much misinformation.
There is. It changes. I was going to say every day. It changes every 12 hours.
I will say that if people will just remember a month ago with Momcilovic, he was going to every other school but the University of Kentucky, and just keep your powder dry. Everybody relax. It is a very good chance it was going to happen, and it did. I am telling you that you don't get on an airplane and you don't fly to Turkey on July 4th weekend. Right. On July 4th, the biggest July 4th weekend
in American
in our lives, in our lifetimes,
in American history.
And you don't do it with the idea that this is a done deal for UCLA. And if you're UCLA, you didn't lock it up when you had the chance. Sorry, you didn't lock this up when you had the chance. And now Dark Pope's going to go over there and he's going to take another crack at it.
And maybe with May leaving Michigan, going to Dallas, that might have made not Kusturica. Say his name, Kyle.
Nikola Kusturica.
Yes. Did I say it? I did say it right.
You did. You knocked it out.
You
knocked it out. Good job.
Yeah, it will. He might be rethinking, hey, I need to go to a good program because Michigan, UCLA could go after a Michigan player. I don't see that happening either. But it might have made him rethink, I need to go to a better program now because I'm not the only option left this late in the campaign.
Well, and one of the things that you and I have said from the very beginning, as Kentucky basketball homers, and what we have tried to get the fan base to understand is the way we react to kids in this process now. This is not like it was even 10 years ago. They have people who are watching the way that fans react. They will send out, the UCLA thing, him liking UCLA and then not liking UCLA. They're
All
watching them.
How long was that? Within 6 hours?
Yeah, about 6 hours. Yeah.
He followed UCLA, then he unfollowed UCLA.
Yeah. And I think that what people don't understand is kids wouldn't do that. Yes, they would. A 17-year-old kid absolutely would do that, and his family would do that.
His buddies were probably laughing, said, "Watch 100%. What I'm going to do to America right here."
Right. Watch your X account. In the next little bit, people are going to lose their minds. But we as Kentucky fans have to be supportive of the program to the point where we don't go, well, this kid won't sign. Forget him. We've waited too long. We got to move on. No, we would be great with him or without him.
Right.
We hope he comes, but if he doesn't, we will move on.
Yeah, it's just the cherry on the ice cream sundae.
Absolutely.
We still got an Elite Eight team, no doubt, through this year, maybe a Final Four. If we get him and he can play 10 minutes a game, if that's all he wants to play.
Just spell Momcilovic and
just cut him a little break. It might get us to the Final Four, and then who knows from there. But this is not like trying to get a star player like Momcilovic or somebody else this late in the year. If this was 6 weeks ago or 7 weeks ago, yeah, I could understand the fever, however you say that word, of people's reactions. But now, man, this is bonus time. This is overtime. This is a good thing, but it's not going to hurt us if it's not.
I will also say you and I have been watching the reports from practice. I didn't include this because we can't verify some of the stats that are on there, but essentially
they're amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, they're almost unbelievable. They're so good.
We'll go on and say them. I mean,
essentially there's 5 guys who are shooting over 70% from 3-point. From three, not free throws.
Yeah, from three.
Now that doesn't even make sense, but it's just something to consider.
I'll read them. It's from Men of KSR, which is not affiliated with KSR because I asked KSR.
And we cannot verify these because these are practice things, but
they're so good that you want to share the good stuff too. Mason Williams is leading the team with 75%. Wilkins at 74%. McBride 74%. Momcilovic 73%. And Trent Noah 70%. Now, last year, Trent Noah ended the preseason as the top 3-point shooter. But then you get in the gameplay and his release is too slow. So he couldn't get his shots off. But these guys are a whole different breed. These fellas can get their shot off. And we've seen video and shared video of Momcilovic. Once the ball, he goes around the pick and he receives the pass, 0.17 seconds, he's got the ball in the air.
Yeah.
So it's hard. So if these numbers are even 60% right,
don't take this away from me, Albie.
Yeah, that's over 50% for all of them, even if it's 60%.
Well,
now we only heard that last year on Noah
and Cam.
Cam, yeah. And Cam was delivering.
Yeah, and remember, Cam's not shooting yet. Cam's not playing yet. So
95% from the free throw line.
Yeah. So we have a ton to be excited about. Some of the photos and videos that I've seen, these guys are jumping around. They're having a good time. Coach Pope is jumping around.
What's your body fat, Kyle? About 1%?
If it's definitely not over 4. But these guys are jumping up and down. Every one of them has a 6-pack and everything. These are not
fast. Oh my gosh, they're fast.
from one end of floor to the other, six
All of them.
steps. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there are no slow players on this team.
And I know that's one of the things people are worried about. Is they're worried about it. Hey, what if you add one more guy? Is he going to mess up the chemistry? I don't think that's even a question. You're going to bring in a 17-year-old kid. You're going to let him, learn the system. And it's my understanding that Boomshay, I think that's what his name, that he's going to Duke. These guys, him and Kusturica, they genuinely want to learn the American game. They want to observe this and figure this out. And I think that's going to be part of it as well. And so if you have a guy that's wanting to learn the game, what better place to do it than the greatest program in the history of NCAA basketball?
And I think Reese Potter might be the slowest guy on the team.
Well,
and he's 7'1".
He's 7'1", and he only needs 3 steps to get from one end
to the other. So he can definitely do 3 from half court, the way they call gathering step and all that other.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, I saw some of the highlights from Kusturica over in Turkey, and he's a defender. He's a guy who can play defense. So
and Momcilovic said on WKYT the other night, I think I'm a pretty good defender.
Well,
and nobody else has said that, and nobody gives a crap.
Yeah. He didn't have to do that at Iowa State.
When you shoot
it was a different system
from 3, you don't even have to go down the other end of the floor. But I know
Absolutely.
they do. But man, it's going to be an exciting year.
Well, before we get out of here, anything you have before we get out of here for the day?
Just Frankfurt stuff, but no big deal.
Yeah. Well, before we say goodnight, I want to say something to our audience. We're going to take the rest of this week and this holiday weekend off, unless breaking news comes across that demands otherwise. And if it does, we'll be right back on live without hesitation. We're going to step back, be with our families, and celebrate something pretty extraordinary. This is going to be cool. July 4th is great. We've always enjoyed July 4th. This is going to be a little bit different. And I hope that people will take the opportunity to truly enjoy the next few days. 250 years ago, Craig, there were some guys that essentially signed their own death warrants. They weren't perfect guys. They were men who did not always live up to their own words, and we know that. But they were men with a vision unlike anything the world had ever seen and has ever seen since. They put their names on a document that essentially changed the course of human history, changed the world. They declared as a self-evident truth that all men are created equal. And that is something that we as Americans take for granted. And we are seeing it. We talked about just a minute ago, we talked about a kid who was born in the United States who, just because his parents happened to be here and ended up assimilating into our national soccer team and is a citizen and is active participant in the United States. And he's scoring goals for the United States men's team. That's impressive. We talked about Mark Pope being over in Turkey, trying to recruit a kid from Serbia to come to the United States and play a simple game of basketball and go to a college here that we both love very, very much. That is America in a nutshell, something that we all take for granted. This country, we know, is not perfect. You and I will never say that the country is perfect. It has fallen short of its own ideals more times than any of us would like to count. But it has also produced more human freedom, more economic opportunity, more voluntary generosity, and more grace under fire than any nation in the history of civilization. Americans have liberated continents. They put footprints on the moon. They have invented the internet, the airplane, the motion picture, and the smartphone. They rebuilt their enemies' nations after defeating them. They have opened their doors to the world's tired, poor, and hungry. And those tired, poor, and hungry people have become Americans, and their children built this country right alongside everybody else. So, to everyone watching and listening to Apex News Above the Noise, take the next few days, put down your phone, just for once.
Put your feet in the grass.
Touch
eat a hot
some
dog.
grass.
Eat a hamburger.
Yeah. Watch the fireworks. Eat too much. Be with the people that you love. Just take a moment, just one moment, and be grateful for the country you were lucky enough and blessed enough to be a part of and to be born into. And if you weren't born into it and you've become an American, good on you too, because that's even more extraordinary. No other country would allow you to do the things you can do in the United States. And if God willing, after 250 years, and we keep going through this American experiment, we'll be here for another 250
That's what I was
more.
going to say. This is
Yep.
nothing but an experiment, and
Yep.
we're coming into one of the longest reigns of world leadership in world history.
Yep.
And no country's ever done for the world what the United States does today.
Yep. Well, the one thing that we truly enjoy is the fact that we have the freedom of the press and freedom to say whatever we want, and we use that every single day here at Apex News. And we can't thank you guys enough for joining us because of how much it means to us. We understand that your time is valuable, and the fact that you guys will spend your afternoons and early evenings with us really means a lot to me and Craig, because this is just a fun journey for us. And I hope that you guys will continue to stick around with us because it means just an absolute ton to us and everything else that going on in this world. At least we have good friends and good family, and we have our own American dream. So, Craig, from both of us, thank you as always for being here with me. You helped this thing go. We can't have a show without you. And to our entire Apex News family, all of those who watch us and have subscribed to us and made us one of the fastest growing channels on YouTube. For the size that we have, we can't thank you guys enough. We hope you guys just have an amazing 4th of July weekend. Be safe out there. It's going to be hot still, and take care of your family and enjoy each other over the next few days. Thank you for being above the noise with us, and we will be back with you guys next week after this great weekend. Happy 4th of July. Happy 250th birthday, America. For all of you, stay informed, stay sharp, and stay above the noise. And God bless the United States of America. See you guys next week. Have a great one.